Welcome back to Eyes Discovery channel. Find yourself a comfortable sitting position to start today's journey. We will get to know how famous actors who are currently rotting in prison are doing now, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Let's get started. Number 1. Amy Locane, the sweetheart of 90s cinema, was once a darling on the silver screen, but her life took a tragic turn. No longer stealing hearts with her on-screen charm, she now resides behind bars, serving time for aggravated manslaughter. It was a fateful night in June 2010 when Amy, after indulging in late-night drinks at a barbecue party, made the ill-fated decision to drive home. Ignoring speed limits, she raced at 53 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone. Tragically, her reckless driving led to a collision with the car of Fred Seaman as he pulled into his driveway. Fred survived the crash, but his wife Helen was not as fortunate. Authorities swiftly arrived at the scene, testing Amy's blood alcohol levels, which were found to be 3 times the legal limit. She was brought to trial, where a jury sentenced her to 3 years in prison, a lenient punishment considering the life she had taken. However, to the relief of the Seaman family, the case was reopened, leading to a revised sentence of 5 years in prison in 2019. Despite attempts to avoid incarceration through appeals, Amy's fate only worsened. An appeal resulted in an extended sentence of 8 years for second-degree vehicular homicide. Currently, Locane awaits parole with a year left before she becomes eligible for release. Number 2. Zara Fithian, beloved former actress and member of the Marvel Universe, faced forced abuse of a young girl in 2022. According to the victim's testimony, Zara provided alcohol to an underage girl and then forced her to commit shocking acts. Since then, both Zara and her husband, Mark, have treated the girl poorly, leading to serious legal consequences. Zara was charged with 14 counts of inappropriate behavior towards the young girl, while her husband Mark was charged with aggravated assault of another young girl. In the end, Zara had to spend 14 years in prison, and Mark had to spend 5 years in prison. However, Zara only received 8 years in prison because the judge did not expect that she was not the mastermind behind the exploitation that Mark actually led. The judge firmly affirmed during the trial that Mark was the initiator and main judge of this case. During her confinement, Zara performs tasks such as cleaning the prison and hopes to be released soon due to good behavior. Number 3. Jared Fogle, captivated the hearts of many as the beloved spokesperson for a fast food chain. His incredible story of losing 250 pounds thanks to Subway sandwiches inspired many people. He quickly became a familiar face on screens, appearing in Sharknado 2, and even having his own episode in South Park. However, in 2015, public opinion drastically turned against Jared as the truth about him began to unfold. It all started with a radio show host in Florida, known as Herman, who bravely exposed Jared's disturbing behavior. As a mother of 2, Herman's maternal instincts led her to record conversations with Jared, revealing unsettling requests. Although these recordings were not admissible in court, Herman persisted and eventually became an informant. Jared's downfall came when the FBI arrested Russell Taylor, and incriminating evidence, including material sent by Jared, was found on Taylor's computer. Facing a 50-year prison sentence, Jared opted for a plea deal, reducing his sentence to 15 years. This marked the end of his once celebrated career, serving as a sobering reminder of betrayal and the consequences of wrongdoing. Number 4. Harvey Weinstein, the renowned producer behind movies like Pulp Fiction and The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, was once a towering figure in the film industry. However, his empire crumbled in 2017 when the New York Times and New York Post shed light on his dark side. Numerous victims came forward, bravely recounting how Weinstein had exploited his power for sexual favors, despite his efforts to silence them using his influence. A wave of brave confessions from multiple women prompted authorities in New York and Los Angeles to launch investigations. Weinstein faced his first trial in Manhattan in January 2020. By the end of the following month, the disgraced director was found guilty on charges of third-degree rape and first-degree criminal sexual act, 2 of the original 5 charges. He was subsequently sentenced to 23 years in prison. Yet, Weinstein's saga was far from over. In a Los Angeles court, he received an additional 16-year sentence, leaving him pleading for mercy. Weinstein's arrest marked a pivotal moment in the #MeToo movement, exposing the harsh reality of sexual misconduct in Hollywood and revealing the truth about other high-profile figures in the industry. Number 5. Todd and Julie Chrisley gained international fame with their reality TV show, Chrisley Knows Best, which debuted in 2014. The show provided a glimpse into the daily lives of the Chrisley family, portraying their comfortable lifestyle, thanks to Todd's business ventures and real estate activities. However, their facade of success crumbled when they became embroiled in legal trouble, facing charges of conspiracy, bank fraud, tax evasion, and wire fraud, which surfaced on August 12, 2019. After a trial that concluded on June 7, 2022, the Chrisleys were dismayed to be found guilty on all counts. Todd is currently serving a 12-year sentence at FPC Pensacola, while Julie is awaiting the end of her 7-year sentence at FMC Lexington, Kentucky. However, fortune smiled upon them in 2023 when the court agreed to shorten their prison terms. Todd is slated for release in 2033, while Julie will regain her freedom in 2028. Number 6. Joseph Heungmin's son, the Austin Powers actor, had his first encounter with the law in May 2008 when he received a 60-day jail sentence for felony vandalism. However, it was the requirement to submit his DNA that unearthed a dark secret. Authorities conducting routine scans of DNA samples were stunned to find Joseph's DNA matching that of a perpetrator involved in a 1990 assault case. Despite the incident being long buried, new evidence led to Joseph's arrest in October 2008. Facing trial and confronted by his victim's testimony, Joseph was initially looking at a staggering 275 years in prison. However, the trial took place in 2011, 21 years after the assault, exceeding the statute of limitations. Consequently, Joseph couldn't be tried for the original offense, but was instead sentenced to life in prison for charges of torture. Sadly, incarceration failed to rehabilitate Joseph as he ended up murdering his cellmate, Michael Thomas Graham, at Wasco State Prison in California, just a month into his sentence. While believed to have acted in self-defense, Joseph now faces an additional 2 decades behind bars on top of his initial sentence. Thus his life has become a tragic tale of legal entanglements and violent consequences. Number 7. Jen Shah. Over the years, numerous actresses have graced the popular reality series The Real Housewives. However, Jen Shah from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City stands out not for her acting prowess but for the shadowy means by which she amassed her wealth. For years, Jen managed to evade U.S. authorities, but her criminal activities came to a halt in 2021 when she and her assistant Stuart Smith were indicted by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Jen and Stuart had been partners in crime since 2012, operating a telemarketing business targeting elderly customers with non-existent products and services. Their fraudulent scheme flourished until 2021 when the FBI intervened. Initially pleading not guilty to charges of conspiracy to commit money laundering and wire fraud, both eventually found themselves with limited options. With the weight of evidence against her, Jen opted for a plea deal in 2022, admitting to wire fraud. She received a 6.5-year prison sentence for her crimes. This marked the end of her fraudulent activities and serves as a reminder that ill-gotten gains eventually lead to consequences, regardless of one's status or fame. Number 8. Josh Duggar gained a significant following through his appearances on TLC's 19 Kids and Counting. However, his facade of familial wholesomeness shattered when the truth emerged. In April 2021, the former reality TV star was convicted on 1 count of child pornography and 1 count of possession of child pornography. Despite pleading not guilty to both charges, he was released on bail only to face conviction in December 2021 on 1 of the counts. In May 2022, Josh received a sentence of 151 months in prison, roughly equivalent to 12.5 years behind bars. Although his defense team argued for leniency, citing his lack of prior charges, the prosecution pushed for the maximum sentence. They highlighted Josh's extraordinary efforts to obtain and view sexual abuse materials, emphasizing the disturbing nature of the content he consumed. As a result, Josh Duggar will remain incarcerated until October 10, 2032, serving his time for his heinous crimes. His fall from grace serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of exploiting the vulnerable and preying on the innocent. Number 9. Stoney Westmoreland, once a fixture in the glittering world of Disney's Andy Mack, found himself in a whirlwind of trouble back in December 2018. The accusations were serious, attempting to lure a young man, a charge he eventually pleaded guilty to. But this wasn't just any ordinary sting operation. It was a high-stakes game orchestrated by the federal authorities using a clever ruse on Grindr. They baited Stoney, enticing him with the promise of a rendezvous. Little did he know, his plans to meet the young man would lead him straight into a legal quagmire. Stoney's defense argued that his intentions were innocent, mere adult conversations with an assumed adult, but the gravity of the charges loomed large, threatening to unravel his once promising career. Facing the possibility of a decade behind bars, Stoney chose a path of negotiation. In a bid to mitigate the damage, he entered into a plea agreement, but the terms were strict: random searches on his digital devices and a complete ban on unsupervised interactions with minors became the new norms. It was a cautionary tale of fame, folly, and the perilous consequences of crossing lines best left uncrossed. Number 10. Danny Masterson, formerly celebrated for his role in That 70s Show, now faces the grim reality of a lengthy prison sentence. In a watershed moment, Masterson received a 30-year sentence for the sexual assault of 2 women. Shockingly, 4 additional women stepped forward, accusing Masterson of assaults that occurred between 2001 and 2003, alleging premeditated drugging prior to the attacks. The compelling testimonies of the victims ignited a swift investigation, uncovering the grave repercussions of Masterson's actions. Controversy arose when the Church of Scientology, of which he is a member, allegedly extended protection to him. Members of the church reportedly harassed the courageous women who came forward, resorting to invasive measures like surveillance and vandalism. Despite legal hurdles, justice ultimately prevailed. Masterson faced trial in 2022, though the jury remained deadlocked. However, at his retrial in May 2023, he was definitively found guilty. Even a motion for a new trial, presented by Masterson's defense team, was summarily denied by Judge Jessica Barajas. Number 11. Wesley Snipes is a distinguished actor and martial artist who gained fame in the 1990s through his captivating performances in action-packed films such as Demolition Man, Blade, and Passenger 57. However, in 2006, Snipes found himself entangled in a different kind of battle. He faced charges of tax evasion, accused of attempting to defraud the government of millions of dollars by neglecting to file tax returns for several years. Although Snipes was acquitted of felony tax fraud and conspiracy charges in 2008, he was convicted of 3 misdemeanor counts of failing to file a federal income tax return. Consequently, he received a 3-year jail sentence in 2010, the maximum penalty for his convictions. Despite appealing his case, his appeals were unsuccessful, and he commenced his term in December of that year. After nearly 2 years behind bars at the McKean Federal Correctional Institution in Pennsylvania, he was released in April 2013. During his sentence and since his release, he has remained in the public eye due to ongoing legal disputes regarding his convictions. Snipes has since returned to acting, though his career has yet to fully recover. His journey serves as a cautionary tale about the repercussions of financial missteps, underscoring the importance of tax compliance, even for individuals of high stature who may presume themselves exempt from such mundane concerns. Number 12. Lindsay Lohan's rise to stardom was meteoric, fueled by memorable performances in Disney's The Parent Trap and the cult classic Mean Girls. However, her journey was marred by legal troubles that began in 2007, including charges for driving under the influence and cocaine possession. Despite efforts at rehabilitation, including brief jail terms and mandated rehab, Lohan struggled with probation violations and recurrent legal issues. In 2010, she faced her most significant sentence for probation violations, serving only a fraction due to prison overcrowding and exemplary behavior upon release. Despite her setbacks, Lohan made several attempts at a career comeback, though her public image remained tarnished by her turbulent past. Her story serves as a stark reminder of the immense pressures faced by young Hollywood stars and the pitfalls of fame. Despite the challenges, Lohan's resilience and determination to overcome adversity offer hope to others grappling with similar struggles in the spotlight. Number 13. Winona Ryder, born Winona Laura Horowitz, is a renowned actress known for her roles in films such as Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, and Little Women. However, Ryder's career faced a significant setback due to a high-profile court dispute in 2001. In December of that year, she was arrested for shoplifting items worth over $5,000 at Saks Fifth Avenue in Beverly Hills. The incident became a major controversy, drawing widespread media attention and tarnishing her career. The following year, Ryder faced trial and was convicted of felony grand theft and vandalism in November 2002. However, she was acquitted of criminal burglary charges. Ryder received a sentence of 3 years probation, 480 hours of community service, and fines and restitution for the store. Despite avoiding jail time, the affair severely damaged her reputation and career. Ryder took a step back from the spotlight for several years, gradually returning to acting with smaller roles. In 2016, she made a significant comeback with the Netflix hit series, Stranger Things. Her case serves as a stark reminder that even prominent Hollywood figures can face legal troubles with serious personal and professional consequences. Number 14. Born Corey Miller in New Orleans, the rapper also known as C. Murder was convicted of second-degree murder in connection with the 2002 killing of a teenager named Steve Thomas in a nightclub, as reported by NBC News. He began serving a life sentence at the Louisiana State Penitentiary in 2009. However, his case took a dramatic turn when 2 key eyewitnesses recanted their testimony after his incarceration. Additionally, an unexpected ally, reality star Kim Kardashian, has stepped up to support his defense. In April 2020, the Supreme Court ruled that jury verdicts in significant criminal cases must be unanimous. Miller's conviction, however, was not unanimous. It was 10-2. One of the witnesses, Kenneth Jordan, admitted that he had been coerced into providing false testimony about C. Murder because he feared facing unrelated charges and imprisonment. The other witness, Darnell Jordan, also confessed that he had felt pressured to lie under oath. Throughout his imprisonment, the convicted artist has steadfastly proclaimed his innocence on all charges. Number 15. Robert Sylvester Kelly. On July 2019, Robert Sylvester Kelly was arrested by federal agents in Chicago, according to the Chicago Tribune. Allegations emerged that Kelly and his associates were involved in recruiting young girls for illegal activities, coercing them into exploitative relationships, and isolating them from their families. The indictment filed in U.S. District Court in New York City coincided with Chicago prosecutors bringing their own charges, accusing Kelly of bribing witnesses and victims involved in his previous legal troubles, including a sensitive case from 2008. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the trial date in New York was postponed. Meanwhile, Kelly was awaiting trial at a federal facility in Chicago, where he encountered violence. It was reported that he was attacked by a member of the R.O.T.T.I.N.G gang while he slept, leaving him severely concussed. In June 2022, Kelly faced consequences for his actions when he was sentenced to 30 years in prison stemming from a conviction related to trafficking and recruiting young girls for illegal activities. Later in September, he faced additional charges for creating sensitive content. Despite his attorney's pleas for leniency, advocating for a reduced 11-year sentence, Kelly's fate remains sealed within the confines of the justice system. Number 16. Robert Downey Jr. From a tender age, his prodigious talent catapulted him to stardom, earning acclaim in films like Less Than Zero and Chaplin, the latter securing him an Academy Award nomination. Yet, as his star ascended, Downey's life veered into the grips of addiction, influenced by his father's introduction to marijuana. His teenage experimentation spiraled into a cycle of legal troubles, marked by arrests and encounters with heroin, cocaine, and even firearms. In 1999, Downey faced incarceration in a California substance abuse facility and state jail, a crucible of introspection. Emerging from this dark chapter, he fought to reclaim his career, battling against the odds with the support of friends and industry allies. Then, in 2008, came his resurrection. Cast as the iconic Tony Stark in Iron Man, Downey not only revitalized his career, but also became the linchpin of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. His portrayal earned widespread acclaim, reaffirming his status as a Hollywood heavyweight. Today, Downey's legacy transcends his acting prowess. His journey from addiction to success stands as a testament to personal resilience and the power of second chances, a beacon of hope illuminating even the darkest corners of despair. Number 17. Tim Allen, born Timothy Allen Dick, is a versatile actor and comedian celebrated for his iconic roles in Home Improvement, and as the voice of Buzz Lightyear in the beloved Toy Story films. However, before his illustrious Hollywood career, Allen encountered a brush with the law. In 1978, Allen was apprehended at the Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport for possessing over 650 grams of cocaine. He eventually pleaded guilty to narcotics trafficking charges, a decision that potentially carried a life sentence. In a pivotal turn, Allen cooperated with authorities, providing crucial information about other narcotics distributors. Consequently, he received a reduced sentence. In 1981, Allen was sentenced to 3 to 7 years in federal prison, serving 2 years and 4 months at the Sandstone Federal Correctional Institution in Minnesota. His time behind bars proved transformative, sparking a profound reevaluation of his life's direction. Upon his release, Allen turned to comedy as a means of catharsis and renewal. This shift marked the beginning of a remarkable journey toward a successful entertainment career. Embracing his past missteps, Allen openly acknowledged his mistakes, leveraging his experiences to inspire others and caution against similar pitfalls. His remarkable journey underscores the resilience of the human spirit and serves as an inspiring example of overcoming obstacles to achieve triumph. Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel, R.O.T.T.I.N.G. Discovery. See you in the next video. Until then, bye.